Hello. Today is Monday. How are we doing? I am Blossom. Thank you. Thank you. I apologize. We're a few minutes late. Today has been work day. Hi, our guest is here already. Goodness me. My microphone fell. I hope I'm more audible now. I just remembered I had not plugged my microphone. How are we doing? Happy Monday. Happy new week. How is today, the first day of the week? Okay, our guest is here. Okay, guys, welcome to another live section. Today is the semi-final. Today is the semi-final. Tomorrow is the last day out of the 7 days live section, and it has been mind-blowing. It has been so interesting. And myself, I've also learned a lot. Our guest is already here. She has sent a request. I have accepted. I hope Instagram would not do what they did to me day before yesterday. It's when I had your personal finance girl online. It was really hectic. Beautiful conversation. Yes. Hear me see. I have seen your request. I have also accepted. I don't know why you are not you've not come online yet. I think it's just Instagram stuff. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I've sent you an invite. Let me see. I've sent you an invite, so I check it out and accept it, because I don't know why I cannot. I've actually accepted your invite, or your request rather, but Instagram can be funny like this. Oh, thank God.
Hi.
Thank God. Day before yesterday was crazy. It was crazy. The conversation was so long, very interesting. We had like over 100 people online.
Wow.
And despite the back and forth, people were still staying. At the time, the guests just went off. But Instagram can just be something else.
Oh,
So sometimes I prefer Facebook live. Okay, welcome.
thank
It's so good
you.
to have you here. Let
I'm
me just do a
good.
brief.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to see let me know what works in terms of lighting.
You're perfect. You're good.
You
You're
sure?
good. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Right,
you're
cool.
good. Let me just quickly type that, please. If you have a question, drop in drop in the comment section. All right, so I want to quickly pin that, because people are already coming online. This pin. Okay. All right. That does it. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So your lighting was perfect. So I don't know why you're removing your
I'll put
video.
it on in a bit. I'll put it on in a bit.
Okay. All right. So while you are at it, let me quickly introduce you. Our guest tonight. Let me read her beautiful and very interesting profile. Her name is Yemisi Isidi. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me. I don't want to pay fine. So our guest tonight is a business and finance strategist. Her name is Yemisi Isidi. She's committed to supporting ambitious professionals and entrepreneurs to build profitable and impactful brands by gaining clarity, understanding finance, and assessing funding. She leads Thrift Africa, which provides community access to finance, and support that makes it easier for underserved businesses making 20 million or less to start and grow. She also leads Circle Labs, which is an innovation hub, management consultancy, and product management firm. Her dedication to witnessing thriving communities, individuals, businesses has led her to actively engage as a global shaper with the World Economic Forum. Also, Yemisi has collaborated with numerous for-profit and non-profit and government organizations across Africa and the UK to drive positive impact. As a management accountant with extensive experience spanning over 8 years across strategy, operations, and finance, she is sought after by various accelerators and incubators, including the Future Female Business School, Impact Amplifiers, Leap Africa. She leads Africa, the Next Economy, Founders Institution, among others, to support financial inclusion, investment readiness, market access, digital inclusion, and business growth programs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Join me to welcome Yemisi ECD. My apologies. I'm not with my when I come live, I use glass. I'm a glass person, so but when I come live, I don't like to use glass because my ring light and other light is going to reflect on my lens, and I don't think it's that good. So yeah, so that's why I was stammering a little bit when I was reading her profile. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Join me to welcome the delightful, beautiful, brilliant Yemisi ECD. You are welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Finally.
Hi, finally.
Okay, that was quite a profile. So tell us more about yourself, aside what I have read, in addition to what tell us more about yourself. Yeah.
I think that what you've read has pretty much
I can
covered.
hardly hear you.
Oh no.
Can you increase the volume on your phone?
Okay.
All
Is
right.
it better?
I'll manage.
Oh no.
Maybe it's me. Maybe the audience are hearing you perfectly well.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do it like this.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't see me. Is this good? Are we good?
You were perfect. You were good to go. Yeah, Missy, you're good to go.
Okay, so apart from the profile I've read, I can't think of. I think the profile you read pretty much covers everything that I do, and I'm currently interested in or involved in. So, yeah. I think we're good. What else? I live in Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay, let me give you an idea. What is your favorite food? What do you do for leisure, to relax?
Oh gosh, okay. My favorite food is ukwa and corn. And I haven't had that in a long time. So my mom is Igbo, and I grew up in Port Harcourt. So I really like Eastern food. Ukwa and corn is like my up there favorite. And but then it's very seasonal. So now is the season for it. What I do for leisure, I watch a movie almost every day. I go for walks. I go like because I work mainly from home. So in the evening, I try to go on walks, and that helps me like at least go outside and everything. I enjoy music a lot, and then I love watching movies and trying out new restaurants. So those are some of the things that I do for leisure.
All right, thank you so much. So we have something in common. I watch movies a lot. Like presently rather, I'm watching Vampire Diaries. I've seen that movie like over 5 years ago, but I love vampire movies. So I'm watching it. I'm season 8. I'm on season 6. So to tell you, so I just watch movies till 3, just to clear my head. All right, thank you.
Sherlock Holmes again. Season 1, so I'm like in season 3 now.
Yeah. So we have something, and I don't think I've told you this. You actually don't look Yoruba. So now that you said your
Oh,
mom is Igbo, so I
yeah.
get it now. Okay, so how did you start your career in finance literacy?
Ooh.
What have been your experiences and achievements so far? Yes, I've read about
Yeah.
it, but we want to hear you talk about it. It's different.
Okay. How did I start my career in finance? So I studied accounting in school. And when it was time to go to university, I like maths a lot. I love calculations. And I think I had the most amazing secondary school teacher. So I was an art student, but I would still get best in maths and best in all other subjects during like prize giving day. And I also really liked writing. So I really
Mm.
liked literature. I think it was just the teachers that I had. And I really liked business. So I was very passionate about business. I always thought about new business ideas. My mom had multiple businesses when we were growing up. So I think I caught that bug from her. So when it was time to go to university, I was like, oh,
Business
what's
tycoon.
yes, honestly, there's no kind of business that my mother has not done or thought about doing. So I thought about what course would enable me combine all my interests together.
Together.
So I was in the UK. I had oh, okay, you can hear me. All right, so I'll go on.
Loud
But
and
at any
clear.
point, stop. Okay, because it was buffering. Your network was buffering, so I didn't want to keep talking when you couldn't hear me. So yes, when it was time to go to university, I was researching on courses and different universities, and most schools offer accounting or finance or business management. But it didn't feel like what I wanted. So I stumbled on a course called Accounting for Management at Aston University, and I think they were either the only one or one of the few universities that offered a course like that. So it looked at how to use numbers to provide projections or influence management decisions. So it wasn't just accounting as per bookkeeping or financial statement. No, it was more managerial, more consulting like. So that would combine my love for numbers, my love for business, and my love for writing, and it was just the absolute perfect course for me. So I did that, and then I moved back to Nigeria in 2017. And if there's anything that I know about myself, is if I'm in a place and I identify a problem that I can solve or a problem that I have resources for, it can be mental resources, physical resources, I just jump into solving it without even thinking too much about it. So I noticed that a lot of people struggled with their finances. So when I came back to Nigeria, I had a lot of savings. I want to say me. Yes, okay, great. So I'll go on. So a lot of people struggled with their personal finance. They did not know how to save, they did not know how to invest, or even how to create a budget. And I realized that this went into their business, right? So typically, if someone does not know how to manage their own personal finance, there's a good chance that they are not managing their business finance properly. And if they're not managing their business finance properly, there's a good chance that their business is not as profitable or as sustainable as it should be. One of the things that I also started doing when I moved back to Nigeria was to do micro lending. And it became really hard to give people loans because they were not, again, managing their business finance properly. So I started just talking about business finance on my WhatsApp stories, on social media, everywhere. And the thing is that with social media or with personal branding in general, once you start talking about something a lot, people kind of associate you with that topic. And so whenever opportunities came up, they would recommend you for those opportunities. So I started getting speaking engagements around business finance. I started hosting paid classes that people would sign up for around business finance. And in fact, I still have people reach out till today to talk about the impact of those classes I did 4 or 5 years ago. So that's pretty much how I started. So lately I've been more involved, apart from the micro lending for Thrift Africa, which you mentioned when you did the bio. I currently work with a number of accelerators and incubators that supports founders across Africa, people who are trying to become investment ready, raise funding, launch their ideas. So because I have a broad business knowledge or background and I've pretty much done different things, I am able to support businesses across various areas. But I try to really just focus on the finance bit of it. So ensuring that they have healthy cash flow, they are pricing right, they are intentionally becoming investment ready so that they're able to attract the right investment into their businesses, whether it is loan, whether it is grants, or just bootstrapping their business to success. So yeah, those are like, that's where I am. That's how I started, I think. Yeah.
Very interesting background story. Like I always say, if you are an expert or you are a thought leader, you must have a story.
Yeah.
You must have a why. You must have a reason why you started doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and that has been really, really inspiring. Okay, so like to know, because while I read your profile, let me look at it again. I talked about I read where you have I don't want to misquote, I think you have a company, um a management company or something. I really didn't I can't, okay, yes. Thrive Africa.
Thrift
Yeah,
Africa. Yeah.
Thrift Africa.
Yeah.
Thrift Africa. Okay, like Thrift, like Esusu,
Yeah.
Ajo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the double I, because is
Yeah.
that how
Yeah.
it's spelled or is just an
Yeah.
error?
No, no, that's how it's spelled. So there's just a play
Oh,
on the words.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what exactly do you put do?
Okay, so we provide microloans to businesses who make 5 million naira or less. Our focus
Mm,
is mainly on women or students, recent graduates, people who have micro businesses making 5 million naira or less. We also provide them with community where we share opportunities and tips that can enable them build profitable and sustainable businesses. So that's what Thrift Africa does essentially. We also do the local ajo in some local communities. So that's
I
not
mean,
something
that's
that
even
you,
the main thing.
yeah, no, it's not exactly the main, because you will not find it on our social media yet. So I mean, I feel like this is the first time I'm probably talking about it publicly. But we do ajo in certain local communities, and that helps us to connect them to financial services, right? Such
Mm,
as the microloans and insurance and all of those. But because it is an offline product, it's not something that we really talk about online. But and that just started like last month, so it's not even the core of what we're doing. The core of what we're doing right now is micro lending and the community for business owners.
really, really interesting. Good stuff. Well
Yeah,
done.
thank you.
Um, I hope when I come to loan money, I'm going to get some.
Are you coming to love money, or you're coming to be our investor?
Oh, that's you people do invest in the
Yes,
company.
yes, people do.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. But you don't talk about that much online. And
Again, no, because it's mainly like, so there was a time when we did open it up for people to invest, and we announced it publicly when we first started. But right now, it's just people who see the work that we're doing. They are interested in the impact that we're making, and they say, "Oh, I have this spare 1 million. What can it do?" and what returns can you give me? And then we can say, okay, these are the kind of businesses that we're supporting. We can collect this money from you and support them, and then pay you back as well with an agreed interest rate. So that's, yeah, we do
Beautiful.
get investors, but again, it's not something. Again, I don't know how you're getting me to say other things, but it's not out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've heard about you, your company. Now the main meat, why we are here and why a lot of people are already journeying to dive in and dice the meat and the cake on the table. First thing first, why do people take loan? Now, before you answer that question, there was a time, I think majority of towards the end of last year, I was talking about people not taking loan for the wrong reasons. And somebody came and said, but the person is a micro money lender, said, if you are telling people not to take loan, how do we survive? I now asked myself, what am I? Am I not a debt recovery lawyer? So if people don't take loan and all, I'm going to be out of job. So I said, pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm saying don't take loan for the wrong reasons. I'm not saying don't take loan, because if you want to build a business, there is no business that there's a level of growth that you will need money to push you. Okay, so now I don't want to be the one to say it. I want it to come from you as a business and finance strategist. Why do people take loan? That is the main essence of a loan.
Okay, so people can take loan for various reasons. I hear you about like not taking loans for the wrong reasons, and I actually agree. So earlier today I was in a meeting with some consultants from Smedan and all of that, and they're pretty much trying to look at how to enable more women access finance. And one of the things that I said was that because we are set up as a social enterprise. So yes, I want to give out more loans, because the more loans I give out, the more money I make. But the core thing for me is business growth. So when people apply for loan, to apply to us for loan, and we can give the loan, but I know that your business will not grow if I give you this money. You'll be more focused on paying me back this money than on growing your business. And also the chances of you defaulting is high. So I'd rather just point you to our community where we share grant opportunities and all of that. So yes, I agree with you, and I hope that is something that we can perhaps talk about later. Not every business should get a loan, and there are specific stages and needs that a loan is best suited for. So with that being said, so why do people take loan? For various reasons, essentially to meet various financial needs or goals, right? So you can take a loan to make a purchase, you can take a loan to invest. So there was a time when part of our finance strategy, like my personal finance strategy, was to take loan to invest, because the interest rates that the loan company was charging I don't want to mention the name, but it's a traditional bank. It was a lot easier to access loan from the app back then, was significantly less than the return on investments that I was going to get from, the return on investment I was going to get. So it made perfect sense for me to collect that loan and to invest it, because my profit was going to be higher. So just put that out there so people can take loan to invest, to manage your cash flow. Perhaps you need to pay off salaries, or you need to access growth opportunities, sometimes to handle emergencies. So people take loan to pay off loan. I would absolutely not recommend it, but it's also one of the reasons why people take loans. Right?
Debt consolidation, but yes, it's debt consolidation, but there's how it's done, not the way people will take like 10 people to pay.
Yes. So and then if you're in like countries like the US, UK, so people take loan to build their credit. So their ability to take loan and pay back improves their ability to access other forms of finance.
Yeah, other higher funding.
Yeah. So there are different. Those are like different reasons why people
take loan. Yeah. Okay, so what options are available? What loan options are available to businesses, especially SMEs? I'm particular about them because the large scale company know how to get the money. They have the big collateral. So for SMEs, what loan options are available to them?
Okay, so on paper, there are loads of options, right? And that's one of the conversation that we're having today. They'll tell you that the bank is giving loans, CBN is giving loans, microfinance banks are giving loans. But something that is important to remember, and I'm talking both as a customer or as a business owner who needs a loan or who needs financing, and as the supplier, someone who actually lends to businesses, is that it's very expensive to give loan to service micro and small businesses. It's not talked about a lot, but it's very expensive. There's a lot of regulations around it, which makes it a lot more riskier and trickier. And that trickles down to your interest rate. So when people try to get money from all these micro finance companies or loan sharks, and they're like, oh my God, the interest rate is so high. It is because they factored in all the people who are going to default.
All the credit risk.
Yeah, and they factored in all the people who are going to default, and you that is most likely going to pay, you'll be paying on behalf of all the people who are going to default. So there are loads of options to get loan. Your bank, your microfinance banks, development institutions, so DBN, BOI. There are also sometimes government set aside funding for MSMEs. What I'm going to say is, and I don't know if maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself, remember that the person giving you this loan is a business person. Giving you loan is a business decision. As much as I want to see your business grow, I am also making
to make money.
Decision.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And part of that business decision is, are you able to pay me back? Because if I give you loan and you don't pay me back, then that's a terrible business decision. I have investors that I have to report to and all of that. So when people talk about, oh, I'm trying to get funding, it's not working, I'm trying to get grants, I'm trying to get loan, I'm trying to get people to invest in my business, I'm just like, why would anybody giving you money be a good business decision? Just tell me, just prove it, just prove to me why. Just give me proof. It can be like, oh, look at the traction that my business is getting, or oh, my idea has a large market, right? I have a great team that if they launch this product, I'm certain that it's going to succeed. Or oh, look at my financial statements. Like over the last year, my audited financial statement shows that I'm profitable. Or oh, I have a dedicated bank account for accounting for my business activities, right? So you can track money coming in and money going out of my business. A lot of micro and small businesses do not have this structure, and that makes it harder that makes it harder for them to get money, and that makes it riskier for the financial partners to trust them with money. So if you're trying to get a loan of 10 million or 5 million or even 1 million naira, but you do not have, your business is not registered, or your business is registered, but you don't have a dedicated business account, you don't have financial statements, you're not able to clearly talk about your product or service or convince me that this is a profitable product or service, why would I give you money? That would be, I'm taking a lot of risks. There are risks that you as a business owner would never take because you know that it's most likely not going to yield results. That's how I feel as a financier as well. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Day before yesterday, when I had a conversation with another finance coach, I was giving an example of how one of our clients in the US wanted to invest in a startup here in Nigeria and asked us to do due diligence because she wanted to invest a few thousands of dollars. And of course, she saw that the business had some potentials. So we have our stages, and we gave the guy a questionnaire to fill. And from the questionnaire, I could dictate, it was so obvious, there was no business account. So the guy was running the business with his personal account. The business was not registered, but had a brand name it was using all over social media, had logo, had website. So they, in other words, the business looks so beautiful, so enticing from the outside. But by the time we dive in to look deep and conduct due diligence, there was no structure. There was no structure at all. And that brings me to what you are saying. It's good to have a brand, it's good to have logo, it's good to have all of those things, but those are not really the structures, because those things that you're having would not, when you have taken a loan and it's time to pay back, your brand color is not going to pay back the money. It's not going to pay back your loan. The logo is not going to pay back your money, especially where it is not even a trademarked logo that is not common and all of that. So I think a lot of SMEs need to look into that as well. And obviously, we told our clients, you can't go near that company. You would just, your money will just go into a, I don't know what to call it, into a well that would never come out. And that was just the end of it.
Yeah, and
And
you know
that,
the thing. Okay, go ahead.
all right, so and that goes so well to show that when people want to take a loan, they don't think these things are necessary. So they just take a loan because it's available, and the lender gives because he wants to make interest. At the end of the day, you can't get your interest, you can't get your capital. The person that took the loan cannot pay the capital, cannot pay the interest, and it becomes a I don't know, it just becomes something else. Yes, please. You were about saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say about your clients, the honest investors. The thing is that this business may not even be out to defraud investors, right? They may just not know. You get, they may just not have considered it worthwhile. So one of the things that I do occasionally is to review my personal development plan. So I think about where I am, and I think about what I want to do, maybe even in the next 6 months, where I want to go next year, what I want to do next year. And I ask myself, what if I get this opportunity, what is required of me? What would be required of me? And then I start putting those systems and structures in place, right? So for instance, with international speaking engagements, they'll ask you for proof of other, and okay, a very simple example, I'm going to link this to Lones in a bit. One of my other consulting company, one of the things that we do is to train staff and train staff on entry-level staff, provide onboarding, business plans, all of that. And one of the things that the really big companies would ask you to do is that they'll ask you, can you provide proof that you've done this thing before? What's your portfolio? If I had not already put together a portfolio, I would have lost a lot of opportunities. So we recently completed training for a bank, and then we're trying to close a number of gigs, even if it has come from recommendation, because again, you won't find this anywhere. I've not shared it anywhere. This is like accept to score, right? Just preparing for that opportunity means having a portfolio of work that we've done and work that we can do. Perhaps having a website, having a landing page. It's the same thing for businesses. So perhaps you started this business out of passion. You're very passionate about it, and it perhaps might be very profitable. It is important that at some point you pause and you think, what do I really want from this business? Where do I see this business in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 6 months? And what kind of system and structure can I start putting in place to support the growth that I want, right? So I have a logo, but the kind of opportunities that I'm looking for, do they require that my logo is trademarked? Do they require that I have a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
My business is not registered. I've seen businesses making 2 million, 5 million, 10 million profits in a month, and they're not registered. I mean, good for them, but it means that there are certain kind of opportunities that you will never be able to access because you do not have the right systems and structures, right? Some of them do not have, like, maybe a business lawyer. For where you're going to, you need a business lawyer. You need an accountant, a certified accountant, right, that has knowledge of your industry. You need to have a coach. You need to have a mentor, all of that. So I think it's important. Some people overlook these things, especially if where they are is very comfortable. But you also need to be thinking ahead and planning ahead and just saying what is required for my next level of growth and how can I, within my power, within my resources, start putting the systems and structures for this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, I hear you loud and clear when you say some people start a business out of passion and not really to defer people when they're looking for investment. But sometimes, for me, I may be wrong, but for me, I just feel that the way I want somebody to take my brand or my business is the way I'm going to invest in it. Okay, so so this particular situation I'm talking about, what we did was to tell the startup to go and restructure its business for 3 months and come back to apply for that stop again. And he sent us a mail to say no, he's no longer interested. So obviously that one is not a serious person. And
That's
anybody
sad.
yeah, and anybody that tries to put his money in that kind of business will just end. In fact, you might be surprised that the guy will just take the money and leave Nigeria. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there are a lot of debt issues and doing that are like that. They just sold and collected money and they're out of Nigeria. So stuff like that. So it's I just feel invest in your business. That's just the first way to show that you're serious minded about your business. Okay, so very, very interesting question. This is even the main thing. What are the things SMEs and businesses should consider before they take a loan? What are the main things they should consider or put in place first before they say they want to apply for a loan? Yes, we have already clarified taking a loan is not a taboo, is not a crime. You actually need it. Everybody needs money one way or the other. The essence of the loan is to meet finance obligations of finance needs and all of that. But before you go ahead to take a loan as a small medium business owner, what exactly should they put in place or consider before they apply for a loan?
Okay, so the first thing is to know that there are different kinds of funding opportunities, and the loan is not the only kind of funding opportunities that you can access, right? And if you're choosing to take a loan, it's important to remember that you have to pay it back, and in a lot of cases, you have to pay it back with some interest. So that means you shouldn't be taking more than you need, right? And not taking more than you need means sitting down to access your financial needs, right? So what do you need this loan for? And what is your ability to pay back this loan? So if you're not keeping record or you don't understand the markets that you're operating in, you would most likely not have the right forecast to make that decision. But if you're keeping record and you have proper business planning, then you're able to make this decision better, right? Then you need to understand the loan terms. I feel like this one is a very common mistake. So you need to care, no matter how long the contract is or
Sit down and read
agreement,
it.
make sure that you read it and you understand it, right? So yeah, understand the loan terms, the requirements. Do they need collateral? What is the interest rate? Is it a simple interest rate? Is it reducing balance rate? If you're not able to pay back on time, what are the consequences of this action, right, on your business? Then you need to also evaluate the level of risk associated with the debt, especially for your business, right? So if you're not able to pay back on time, or if you're able to pay back on time, how would it affect your cash flow, right? And how would it, what are the risks that are involved in this, as considering the fact that, so interest rates can fluctuate. So I was at the bank the day that they announced the new MPR, and I'm just about to call the name of the bank. The bank was calling up their debt. I was in the manager's office. I was trying to sort something out, and the bank was trying to call all their customers just to say, "Oh, look, we've adjusted our rates. We've increased this to this. We need to send you an official letter." So imagine that you probably planned with a particular rate, and now they've increased the rate, which means you have to pay back more money. What are the risks in your industry? So if you've taken a loan to open an extra factory, for instance, what is the demand for that product? So let me give you a real life scenario, and I was just sharing this with a friend the other day. Some earlier last year, or maybe late 2022, a new restaurant opened close to my house, like a stone throw away. And so it was a restaurant, bakery. It was really nice. They spent a lot of money. Then they bought like 4 buses for the bakery. They said they were going to be open 24/7. And I remember just telling my husband that can we bet money that these guys will not be here for 2 years? Because one, the area that they opened is close to
Not a
like a
sellable.
yes, it's close to like a commercial hub, and that commercial hub is like is a civil service area. So what that means is once it's 5 p.m., the place
Every,
is quiet. Like
everywhere is closed.
everybody
Yeah.
has to go home.
Everybody's in
So
their
if
house.
you're paying staff that will be in your office 24/7, that's
What
like operating
exactly are they going to
expense.
be doing?
Exactly. Then on weekends, nobody comes to the office on weekends. Like
Mm.
I go on my walks on Saturday mornings or evenings, and the place is very quiet. Like nothing is happening. Then bread. You're not the first person to sell bread or to make bread, right?
What are
So
you
why you
what
have
are you going
4
to put
vans?
inside the bread
Yeah,
that is
like they
different?
have 4 vans. So that's like a lot of. So imagine if they had taken, and they have actually shut down. So they
No.
have
In
a
fact, when I heard you say God bosses work 247 in my
yeah.
mouth, like they will shut it down
Nah.
before you even said it.
Yeah, so let's imagine that they got a loan to start up that business, and they've had to
Exactly.
pay back that loan over 3 years, right? Because they, and also it was one of the times when the Russia war started, and that increased
Mhm.
the price of the ingredients that you used to make flour,
Yeah,
which means
there
that
was a
prices
lot of
go up.
scarcity that
Yes,
period.
and right now bread is like a want for people. It's no longer a necessity because
Mm-hmm.
it is expensive. We've had to cut it off in our house, not because of the price, but we are trying to like be healthier. We just figured, you know what, there are
Yeah,
alternatives to
because
this thing.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
one baker came online to say one time, when there was this I think flour or whatever ingredient they're using to produce even
yeah,
snacks. The
yes.
baker came out to say that he had to, I mean, she had to shut down because her heart could not begin to do what her colleagues were doing. So they were mixing a lot of things
Yeah.
to produce and still remain in business.
Profitable, yes. So that shows like how like poor financial planning, poor business. Because if I was their business consultant, for instance, there are other business models that would have explored to make sure that the businesses, especially when you're just starting, they probably had a lot of money to start and they just poured everything in.
It doesn't
But
still
it's so sad.
matter. It's
Yeah.
poor
So
finance management.
yes, yes. So, and then also explore other finance options. I already spoke about that. Then you need to plan for contingency. So, what happens if the business does not do as well as it's supposed to do, and then you have loans? How are you going to pay back, right? Then I need to really come back to terms and conditions because it's really important that you understand interest rate. Some people see interest rate, oh, come and get a loan from us, interest rate 8%. And they're like, oh, 8% is really low,
Is
let's
the
go. But
entire
yeah, it could be 8% per day. It could be 8% per week. It
could
could
be
be
per
8% per
month.
month.
Even
Yeah,
some
so
people will even assume that that 8%
it's
is
per
sorry
year.
to it, but that is for a whole year. There's a particular day recovery I was doing, and the woman was saying, no. How can they be charging me 8%? I mean 10% per month? And I was like, Madam, need to read
Did
your
you
terms
read
and
the
conditions.
contract? But yeah, so things like that happen a lot of times. So you need to make sure that you are absolutely clear on the terms and conditions, the interest rate. So I think there was a particular company that was announcing, oh, they're doing interest rate 1% or 3%. What they're not saying is that's 3% per day. So if you take the loan for 1 month,
you're
you are
you're
paying
paying like
almost,
30%.
yeah, you're paying almost double the loan, so that's like 90% interest. um so just having that knowledge and clarity. Then there's something I like to say: you need to consider your interest rates to profit margin, right? So how much are you making? So if you take 100K loan and you're supposed to pay back 110,000. But what you're using that business to do would only make you 105,000. That would mean that you need to dip into your other cash flow to pay back that loan.
Or even to your capital.
Yes, yes. So you need to consider your interest rates to profit margin. You also need to consider your maturity period to turnover time. So if you get a loan for, say, 6 months to maybe set up a factory, but that factory will not be ready till 8 months' time and will not be bringing in cash flow till the next 12 months, you may need to renegotiate the terms of your loan or look for other funding options, or actually just bear in mind that the capital to pay back that loan will need to come from other sources and not from the factory. So maturity period to turnover time. You also need to know your repayment plan, right? So are you supposed to pay back weekly, daily, monthly, yearly, all of that? I would always suggest that if you're getting a business loan, get it from someone who actually wants your business to grow. Because if for any reason something happens, they're able to sit down with you and renegotiate terms. And if for any reason, like a loan is not the best option for you, they're able to tell you, look, we don't think you should be getting a loan. Have you considered XYZ option? Or, oh, you're trying to get 500K. Instead of 500K, can we do 100K for a start? And usually businesses that ask for more than they need always struggle to pay back. I was looking at our data the other day and I was like, every time a business has asked for more than they need and we've offered them lesser amounts, those, even with the lesser amounts, they've struggled to pay back. So imagine if we had given them the full bulk amounts that they needed. So you always want to make sure that you're protecting your business interest and you're also protecting the relationship, right? So
business relationship.
Yeah, so because now if you're unable to pay back a loan, they are creating directories and all of this. And I've had people who lost visa applications, all of those things because of pending loans that they think nobody knows or people have forgotten. But your details are somewhere. Yeah, especially with BVN and all of that. So those are like key things to consider, like your repayment plan, maturity period, interest rates versus. I have a post about this somewhere on social media, so you can check for that as well. So yeah, the interest rate, what's the interest rate? Like, do you understand the terms and conditions? So they've not just told you, but you clearly understand it. You understand how it affects the business. You understand the risk involved. You've also weighed your option in terms of other funding options as well.
You said this is a master class. You have said so much, so much. You know, while you were just talking, I was just telling myself that you and I actually work in the same industry, but in 2 different ways. So while you were particular about business people taking loan, like okay, finance opportunities, my part is I'm particular about when you collect my client's money, you must pay back. And then you said something about terms and conditions. I don't know how we can stress that because it's really an issue. An average Nigerian hardly read. In fact, they will hardly read, maybe because of desperation or because of tension or because of pressure. I cannot tell. I'm going to give a very practical illustration. Last year, I did a debt recovery for a finance company against a company. So the man took a loan and he had 2 companies and he took a loan for both companies and he was staggering to pay. And the bank the company had tried so much for him to recover, but it wasn't possible. So they engaged us. So while I was, when we did a letter to him and we sat down, I also did what I call my fee notes as a lawyer and sent to him to pay for my legal services.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, he cannot pay for my legal service because he's not the one that engaged me, that in fact, he got his own lawyer. He will be paying. He was like, I don't understand why you are asking me to pay you. You are my creditors, you're my lender's lawyer. I have my own lawyer. I said, okay, no problem. So what I just did was to respond to his mail and referred him to a clause in the loan agreement that stated that if for any reason his loan is, he defaults in paying his loan, and the company tries to amicably recover that money from him and he does not still pay, the company does debt restructuring, which what happened. He still does not pay, and if for any reason they have to outsource it to a debt recovery lawyer, he will be the one to finance and foot the bill. Do you know that when I brought that clause to his attention, this is something he signed, he was surprised. And this was a loan that ran in multiple of millions, because he was in fact, you will see the way he was even talking, like, no, I have my lawyer. Me, I don't know how to shout.
Yeah.
So I just referred him. He became very calm. I almost asked him, didn't you read? Well, I was like, I'm not your lawyer, it's not my business. You gotta meet your lawyer. So the need for business owners to read and understand the terms and conditions of the loan cannot be overemphasized. It's really, really important, because everything that you do and everything that is going to happen to you legally or otherwise depends on what you have signed up for. So people have actually signed that death sentence. Like when I say death sentence, not like being killed, but they just kill their business by just signing things that if you don't understand, get a lawyer to interpret for you. So that's what you said is really, really important. You know, some of us will go to the bank and will begin to shout, oh, you did this deduction from my account. And I'm like, oh God, when you were filling the form, those tiny things that the bank put in that form, did you read it? Did you understand? Did you ask questions? Did you ask that customer? So did you ask so that you will better understand? If it's not okay for you, it's not by force you open your account with that bank. You can go to another bank and see where you can balance up things. Thank you so much. Now, why do people and businesses find it hard to pay off that loan? Very important. Why do people find it hard to pay that loan, and what is the best way out?
Okay, so I mean, I feel like we've identified some of this already. Number one is like for poor business and financial management. So if you've not effectively budgeted, or you're overspending, or you're not managing your funding appropriately, or you don't even have the right financial structure before you took on that loan, chances are you struggle to pay it back. It is not a grant where like whatever goes, right? Sometimes, again, this leads to insufficient income. So you've not managed the money properly, you do not have the right management system, and so now that it's time to pay off, you don't have sufficient income. It could be that they have multiple loans that they are paying back, leaving out room to actually build their business to generate cash flow. Sometimes unforeseen circumstances, like we live in a very difficult economic terrain, which can make it hard for people to even predict. It's so hard. Like last month's dollar rate is different from today's dollar rate, and it's different from 2 months ago dollar rate. So even when I do financial projections for my clients, thankfully I'm seeing that our projections are usually very accurate. But I'm just like, look, disclaimer, like accuracy for God.
Yeah, you have to put a disclaimer, certainly.
So also if they take a loan with really high interest rate, it can be really difficult to pay back. So that's why you need to always consider your interest rate versus profit margin. Then lack of financial education, which ties into like not understanding key terms of their loan, not even understanding. Like I think people underestimate the power of your business data. Like every time I see that Google ad of, oh, do you know what's hiding in your business data? It's real. Do you really know what is in your business data? I've worked with businesses who thought that they were not doing well and they were going to shut down. And by just sitting down and putting their numbers together, they realize, you know what, we're not where we are supposed to be, but this is a business that can get somewhere. And they are able to identify ways to improve. Yes. Even for my own business, there are things that we've cut out of because it just did not make sense numbers wise. So it is important that if you want to build a sustainable and profitable business, you have to find a way to fall in love with numbers or to work with someone who likes numbers, right? being able to look at data and make data-driven decisions. Able to make data-driven decisions, not just emotional decisions. Then, if you find out that you're unable to pay back for a loan, you're struggling to pay back a loan, what should you do? Number one is to communicate with your lenders. The worst thing is for people to be chasing you or for people to be uncertain about what you're doing, and it can actually lead to embarrassing situations. So you want to make sure that you communicate with them, you contact them, and even before you communicate with them, you want to make sure that you've considered all possible options. So you're not just coming to tell them, I can't pay you this money. You're coming to say, okay, I know we're supposed to pay you every month, but can we do every quarter? Or can we extend the loan to this? Can we renegotiate the interest rate? And we've had businesses that we've done that for. Because at the end of the day, yes, I want to run a profitable business, but I want businesses to grow and my goal is to help people build impactful businesses while being profitable, of course. So just really, that's why I mentioned working with a financial partner that wants you to succeed, right? Then you also need to look for ways to improve your income, your business income, improve your cash flow, improve your budgeting and financial planning. And that may include seeking professional help. So working with a business coach or a business mentor or consultant who can help you maybe identify low-hanging fruits. And sometimes I feel like businesses that I work with are always so surprised when we sit down and it feels like they are they've come to the end of the world. And I look at their business model and I do some research on their industry. I look at a few things that they're doing and I just say, okay, let's do this, and this for the next 2 months and let's see. And then they start doing it and they're like, oh my goodness, this business that was almost dead has come alive and all of that. So and I too have professionals that I consult, that I reach out to when I'm struggling with my business or with just ideas, and their counsel, their oversight really helps a lot, especially in handling difficult situations. So identifying opportunities to actually get knowledge, get support, communicate with your lenders, improve your budgeting and financial planning, increase your income as well. And sometimes you may need to explore other forms of assistance that may be available, right? So are there grant opportunities? Are there other funding opportunities that you can explore to help you offset the loan and continue to build your business?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a handful. A lot of people may not agree, but for me, I feel that I don't even think anybody should take a loan to start a business. And for me, I feel one of the reasons people find it hard to pay the loan is because they took a loan to start a business. When we are doing sometimes when we are doing business restructuring for insolvent company, we discover that we discover that they have a project that they want to push, and they take a loan sum to push a project, and I'm like, this is where your problem started from. Now, if you're a company that has been making money, you're supposed to take out of your money to push a mini of that project and make money, and you see that this project is sellable, is scalable, and is liquidable. Then before you now say, it's like saying you want to do a project, you want to shoot for a project to build a bridge, and you have never built a bridge before, and you want to take lump sum of money to, of course, any bank that hears it will give you money because they know that you will make money from a bridge. But what is the guarantee that you can actually come through with that project? But why don't you just take money first to maybe do some bad roads in maybe in your streets or in local government, and then make money, do your calculation. Okay, this can run. If we can do this, we can do this. So I just use that illustration. So people take a loan to start a business. A lot of debt recovery that we do for microfinance bank are startups. And I'm like, who would advise you people? You are new to the market. You don't even know what the market looks like, and you're taking a loan to start. You will get stopped. And that is why it's important for you to save a little bit, do market research, do 1 or 2 things before you say, okay, I want to start this particular business. I want to now take a loan to start this particular business. I just wish that a lot of businesses will just listen and learn. Okay, so second to the last question, what exactly should SMEs look out for? Well, no, sorry, we've asked that. Our last question for today, what would be your general advice when it comes to taking loans to start a business? Do you know that I didn't even see this question before I started talking?
When you asked me, I was just like, oh.
I was like, this is. But let's hear from, I'm I'm talking as a debt recovery person because I don't like to hear stories when I want to recover money ahead. But you're coming from a different perspective. You're more business inclined to your clients or your customers. So what would you say in respect of your general advice when it comes to taking a loan to start a business?
Okay. I would say that I would tilt towards the answer that you gave. We don't give loans to people who are just starting. So you need to have...
You will rarely see any lender do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to have been in operation for 6 months. And that's because ideally, loans should match your cash flow, right? I don't think that it is wrong to take money to start a business. I would say that you shouldn't take money to start something that you do not have experience in. So
okay.
There are times when a business wants to launch a new product or expand, and a loan would be the best option. A loan is actually the easiest form of funding that you can get. It's easier to get a loan than it is to get grants. So if you need to launch a new product, you have experience in that industry. So you've been in operation for a while. Now you want to introduce a new product because customers have demanded it. You've done your market research. You have a robust marketing and distribution plan. The capital that you have, would not be enough to launch that product. It is okay to take a loan, right? And because you have experience in that. So I would say, think about loan as matching with cash flow. If you don't have experience in that field, you don't have a solid team that can generate the cash flow from the product or service you want to do, a loan may not be the best option. It may be best to play around with grants and test your ideas, or just collect money from, or maybe a soft loan. So a soft loan is money from your family and friends that they may not charge you interest, and you may not even have to pay back, and it's fine. So you could test with that. But for
investment.
But for conventional loans, I would not advise you to take a loan to start a business in something that you do not have concrete experience in, you've not done sufficient market research for, and you do not have almost a guaranteed cash flow that will enable you to pay back that loan. So that's how I would reframe it, because business context differs. So while I 100% agree with you, I'm very careful that it may not always apply to businesses in different contexts.
Thank you so much. That was a handful. For me, loan is an enhancer. It's just like saying a makeup artist comes to beautify you. I read, I saw one comedy skit or something, and after the makeup artist, did makeup on the person's face, I was like, madam, this your makeup no fine now. The woman now said, it's not be say my makeup no fine, now you will no fine. So for me, loan is an enhancer. It's something you can use to enhance your business, advance your business. Like you said, start a new product, but you would have had experience in running a business that is similar to that line. You have had experience in running business, cash flow, business risk, and all of that. Not that you just woke up one day, you saw somebody doing hair business, and you see that the person is making money. Say, hair business will be good. Let me go and take loan to start hair business. All right. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful conversation. Let me check if there's any question. If there is no question, we'll call it a day. There's so many people online. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Wow, quite a number of people are online. I'm just like scrolling down, up and down to see. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been a wonderful conversation. Please, I'm just going to hold Yemisi for a few seconds. If you have a question, please put your question in the comment section. This is the only time you can pick her brain for free. Or Yemisi, do you offer free consultation? Let me ask before I jump the gun. You
Not
say,
at the
you
moment.
say,
I mean, my
because
son
I'm
of
here to
saying
see an
he's
expert that
actually
offer free consultation.
yeah.
But live sections like this and maybe webinar, a free webinar is always a very good time to ask questions from an expert and really get answers to it. So if you have any question whatsoever concerning loan, taking loan, getting your business structured well to, accept the loan, I was giving illustration. I did a training for a company and I was giving illustration. I said, loan is like getting ready to have a baby. So you know that you are pregnant. So you will not just wait till the 9th month. So you will start, you're already pregnant. So you start putting your place together, your nursery together. You start buying all the things that you need, the clothing, you go for antenatal, so that when the baby is coming, you save money towards the baby's birth. You save money for both normal delivery, CS, because you don't even know what it will look like. So you just get ready for all those things so that whatever happens during childbirth, you're able to have a soft landing. That is just how loan is. Loan is a baby. Okay? Your house or your life is you're preparing for that baby. So you don't just sit down and become pregnant. So you would have done something to get pregnant. So that's why you don't just sit down to say you want to start a business and you just want to take a loan. No, you would have done your homework, you'd have put your tents together, you get ready to receive that baby. So by the time the baby is coming, the baby will even be happy that these people were ready for me. I'm happy to be in this house. You understand? So that's basically how loan is. A wonderful thing to actually get a loan. In fact, I encourage you to get loan. Majority of my clients are finance providers. If you don't get loan, how will we see work? But just to ensure that you are ready for the loan. And it's a beautiful thing to get a loan prepared. You cannot imagine the kind of money and cash flow and profits you will make. You quickly make that money, you pay back your loan, you get a higher one. It's always one best way to actually advance your business if you're doing it correctly. Let me see, thank you so much. I just used that to while away time to just talk and see whether there was going to be okay. Somebody has asked a question. Okay, there's a comment here. Yes, this was insightful. Thank you. Let me read the person's name. Kinsha Truth. I'm so sorry if I didn't get your pronunciation well. I am Blossom. Yes, we did. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Glinton Edozier said, this was insightful as always. At TMEC must give you an action points to go with. Thank you so much for doing this tonight. Thank you, everybody. So that was just everybody just saying thank you. TMEC, thank you so much. We still have a lot to do together. Thank you for honoring this invitation. I also take it or leave it. I actually picked one or two things from tonight's conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining YMC. It's time to say goodbye. Do you have a last word? Or you just want to say good night?
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. That would be all for tonight. Join me tomorrow for the last episode of this 7 days live section. We've been doing this since the 1st of May. It's been a 7 days live section conversation. We've been having different experts. Tomorrow we are having the last topic and it's going to be very, very exciting. For this 7 days, we've been talking about how to build a financially healthy business even in the face of this present economy. The economy is not smiling on anybody, whether you're a product-based entrepreneur or a business, you're a service-based business. I was just telling them in the office when we had office meeting last week that even our own client that we are lawyers are also owing us. So the economy is not smiling on anybody. So how do you thrive? How do you survive the economy? Because like it or leave it, some companies and businesses are still thriving. Small businesses are still thriving. In fact, some businesses are even blossoming this period. There's something that they're doing right. There's something that they're doing that you and I are not doing. And that was the essence, the whole essence of having this 7 days consecutive live section with different finance experts, different business experts to teach us one or two things. So tomorrow is the grand finale, is the final. I don't know when next I'm going to have this kind of live section. So join me tomorrow by 7 p.m. for a wonderful time out. Thank you and God bless you. Do have a wonderful night rest. Bye-bye.